Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. Rather, this is going to be a review on my channel and the review of the KTM 390 Adventure. And a huge shout out to my brother from another mother for lending me his Adventure 390. This has already done around 7,500 kilometers on the Odo. He has already serviced it. Yeah, 7,634 to be precise. He's already serviced it twice, and it's been serving him well. And I rode it for a short while, for close to about 40-45 kilometers in the city and also on the highways. And I would like to share with you my thoughts of how I feel it is. So first thing is, yes, as you know, I have already owned a Duke 390, the I think a 2018 model. That's what I had. Okay, already sold it. So compared to that, what I feel this machine is basically, um, it's Duke 390 on stilettos. Okay, so longer legs is what I feel it has. So you don't really have that kind of a crisp handling that you get from a 390 Duke on the tarmac, at least. Okay, that's what I noticed. But apart from that, on high speeds, it is a pretty stable motorcycle, and it does a good job. So I touched a speed of around 140 kilometers per hour. That was the max I was able to do on the road, and given the road conditions, that is. And what I feel is, yes, it's very, very confidence inspiring at those speeds. You don't feel uncomfortable. Okay, I mean, it depends on the skill that you have. As for me, okay, at 140 I felt safe and not really too freaked out. Okay, it was cruising and chugging along like a locomotive without any issues at those speeds. Okay, at that particular speed, the only problem I had was the wind buffeting from this standard windshield. Okay, this particular windshield, I think the position that it is in, probably didn't help me much. What I feel is they should have actually given a full windshield rather than giving a small one like this. Okay, where it could take the air out of your helmet and away, over and above it. Probably that would have helped. Otherwise, the wind buffeting was so awful, I'll tell you. Okay, I was almost going deaf. Okay, the helmet also was vibrating like crazy. It's probably because it's time for me to change the helmet. It's already been 3 years, and then it's not gripping my head properly. So that's another reminder out here. So let's move on to the other aspects. Apart from the high speed, which I really liked, it's minus the wind buffeting. What I really liked about it is the power delivery is as good as how I used to enjoy on my Duke 390. Okay, um, yeah. So one problem is, even though it has a quick shifter plus, as they claim, you really have to put in a lot of effort on the gear peg. Okay, either it is downshifting or either it is upshifting, or you could do it easily if you close the throttle. Okay, so that means to say it's not really a quick shifter if that's the case. You know, if you're closing the throttle, you can do that even on my MT-15, which has a slipper clutch. You could do that easily. All right, so it's kind of like, I would say, it's a pseudo quick shifter kind of a thing, because you can't do it at full throttle. You really have to put a lot of effort on the lever. So I think I'm hoping that KTM will fix this in the future, for the future models, and update whatever the glitch was, because that is my honest feedback as far as the quick shifter is concerned. So you can see it's nice and dirty. Okay, this is how an adventure bike has to be. Okay, it should be dirty. What's the use of having an adventure bike and keeping it nice and clean and shiny? All right, so It's similar to if you have a Jeep and then you don't have mud on it, it's a waste having a Jeep. Okay, right. So now let me talk about the seat comfort. This is one thing I really liked. Okay, in this you have such a huge space. Okay, so let's talk about Interceptor for an example and a comparison. Okay, that seat is almost like a circular, a curved one. So where you sit on it and your center, let us say, your buttocks in the center, inner thighs as you call it, that really takes a toll. Okay, you can't sit for a long time. But here it is so wide that both your ass cheeks, cheek 1 and 2, can rest, and it is pretty comfortable, and a lot of place for your cajones too. They won't feel suffocated or won't feel too constricted in most of the other motorcycles that you see, where they have a very small seat space. So that way very comfortable in terms of seating, so you can really move around, you can change your position. Okay, whenever you're doing a long ride, you can really change your positions. Rather, you could even just stand up on the foot peg, do some foot peg riding. So that way you can cover long distances without having a saddle sore. Okay, or as I call it, butt sore, right? So this is one good thing about it. Yes, of course it is a bit firm, but I think that is fine. It is fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, it's at least better than the previous wooden seats that KTM used to give. Right, very good, nice and comfortable. And I think this is one of the bikes where you could actually positively have a pillion sit with you too. Okay, which is another good advantage. Now coming to these things, he's procured it from Zana. This is the saddle stay for the luggage, and this is a Gibi mono lock system for his luggage box. This is one of the advantages of this particular bike, where you can actually carry your luggage with you. That is amazing. Okay, that's one thing most of the other bikes lack, but they've made it pretty spacious, and they have given the provisions for you to be creative in terms of adding whatever it is that you want to add in terms of luggaging, right? So apart from these aspects, let me turn it on for you. Okay, it is already in the first gear. One problem I had is the gears are still a bit crude. Okay, it was difficult for me to find neutral. Now it is in neutral, but it is disappeared. Now it is one. Now it is in neutral. You see, not that slick. I think it needs some more time for it to get smoother. So this is this twig. I would like to take it off. I don't want it to start another wildfire out here in this pre-summer dry season. Okay, it's in neutral. Let me turn it on. Let's listen to how it sounds. Okay, nice and angry, like a KTM Juke 390. Same engine almost, of course, same engine. Very eager engine, very eager, nice and eager, and you can really do wonders. So it's meant for hard riding. Okay, if you are a sedate rider, you might not really enjoy it because it pushes you to push harder. All right, that is the nature of the engine, and that is the nature of even the chassis, in fact. Okay, so that's how it is. My advice for the Adventure 390 buyers is take a look at what exactly you're looking at. Are you an outright highway rider or commuter to go places, to go to cities? I think this will be a better bet, provided you fix your windshield. Okay, because my height is around 5'11", and that's That's why I felt the buffeting. So it depends on your height too. But I would rather you invest in a good windshield and then fix this, or else take it off altogether and enjoy the wind. Right. So for highway commutes, yes, definitely. And people are claiming for off-roading and stuff. How many places do you know that you can go off-roading? And when you go off-roading, how do you come back home? Okay, in the sense, I mean, you go so much out there in the, if you go so much out there in the wild off-roading, you gotta come back to, right? Unless you're planning to put a tent there and stay, right? So, I mean, be practical in terms of, think about how often do you go off-roading. Okay, there is an off-roading mania going on nowadays. Okay, with a lot of these motorcycles being launched, being with the moniker of adventure, the bike, and I hardly see any proper. Okay, one or two companies are giving us some experiences in terms of a packaged off-roading or a trail riding experience, but apart from that, what do you really have, right? Like Baba Surfari says, any bike is an adventure bike as long as you are stupid and foolish enough to be doing adventurous things on it. Okay, so there are times where a splendor, hero splendor, a villager wearing lungi sitting on a hero splendor can beat the shit out of a GS 1250 also. Okay, in off roading. Okay, so getting back to the review now. So keeping those things in mind, excellent highway cruiser, and that's what I would recommend it for. But if you want sharp responses, okay, razor sharp responses, Duke 390, the older sibling of this, that is what would be worthwhile. So why do I say this? So this is for the uninitiated. It is because if you are coming from a sharp handler, let us say a RC390, R15, Duke 390, and many other such machines that are available, and some even costlier than the range that I just spoke about, like the leader class ones and 600cc and above, and so on. So there is certainly going to be a learning curve for you on this bike, all right? Because of its elongated suspension travels, braking is not that confidence inspiring as it would have been on your regular Duke 390 RC and all that, okay? So late braking, sudden course corrections are going to be a challenge unless you get used to it and then overcome it. So it will take time for you to get used to the new way of riding this bike, because until it finally becomes a part of your extension of your body, okay, in the real sense, no kidding. So there certainly is a learning curve, right? So yes, of course, no kidding that the bike becomes a part of your body. There's no better feeling than that. Okay, it is a very empowering feeling. But you should not misuse that power and that feeling, okay? You must use it to your advantage, right? So this is my advice to you, and I'll also go ahead and put across this fuel efficiency figures, a short one that I had. So when I borrowed it from a friend, I did full tank it up, and then I refilled it before giving it back to him, and this was the amount of kilometers it did, and this was the amount of petrol we poured in, and that translate into the following fuel efficiency figures. Okay, so one thing about vibrations is, yes, vibrations can be felt, especially when you are tugging at a lower speed in a higher gear, definitely. Otherwise, if you are in gear and then you open it up, there'll be mild vibrations on the handlebar. Foot peg, you don't feel much, okay? You don't feel much vibrations there. But the handlebar at around 100, 120 and even 140, mild vibrations, just to show you that yes, the engine is alive and you are riding and you are, cruising at a speed. Yes, of course. Not so jarring that actually it shakes you up. Definitely not. But it is there, okay? I mean, Interceptor 650 has lesser vibrations than this. Okay, why am I comparing it? Because almost close to the same price point. Okay, they're totally different bikes, totally different engines, but I'm just comparing it for the sake of understanding what kind of vibrations you get. Okay, the vibrations are there, but it can be felt, but it's fine. It's not really something that you notice extensively or exclusively. You don't really notice that exclusively, and you feel, yeah, it is a high compression engine. It has to be there. Okay, that kind of vibration has to be there. I mean, it's end of the day, it is giving you high output. Okay, so that way, that is my opinion on the vibrations. So I don't feel anything off with regards to that. Okay, you will slowly get used to it. That's a fact. Okay, once you invest in it, you will slowly get used to it. Let's see a startup video of this bike. Okay, so let's start it up and see how it feels when you gear it in. One problem is, as I told you earlier, finding the neutral. Okay, I guess it still needs to run in quite a bit for the gears to look, feel a bit more smooth. So slight vibrations heard here. Okay. But like I told you, once you get used to it, in the sense, because you're doing good speeds, so this is nothing. When you're doing good speeds, okay, you forgive this. You forgive this kind of vibrations. It is giving you a better output somewhere else. Okay, it's taking you from point A to B at a better speed and at a safer way. So you forgive this. All right, now let's put it in gear. Let's see. Attack. So that is how crash it feels. All right. Yeah. So rough edges there, but then that's how it sounds. So guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll look forward to many more such reviews in the future, and a bit of moto vlogging too. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. Ciao. Take care.